Welcome to another segment of Psychology Hour. I'm your host, Nasab, Radwan, and I'm so delighted you could all be here today. Have you ever found yourself trying to exercise only to fall short of your goals 2 weeks later?
Yes.
Or have you ever tried to resist temptation only to indulge in another one?
No.
Or have you ever tried to diet only to slip up on one cookie and then end up eating the whole box?
Stop.
Well, you're in luck, because today our special guest today is Dr. Baumeister, author of New York's best-selling book, WillPower. Welcome back to Psychology Hour. We're here with Dr. Baumeister, author of New York's best-selling book, WillPower. Dr. Baumeister, thank you so much for joining us today. What a remarkable book you and Tanya have written. What was your motivation for writing this piece?
Well, we've actually been doing extensive research on willpower, as we think it relates to everyone. I mean, everyone can have that struggle of being the perfect person. You always want to make the right decisions, and you're always worried about how you're not reaching those goals that you've set out for yourself. I think the book really provides a lot of insight into why we sometimes don't achieve these goals, and through that insight I feel like it helps us to not blame ourselves and see ourselves just as failures, but to see the possibility for improvement as well. I think every day in life we use willpower and we don't even know it sometimes, and it really helps determine our success and what's going to come out of these choices we make. I think with our book too, we're also really trying to make the connection between the experiments that happen in the lab and the real life applications of this.
Yes, and I thought it was so easy to read. I personally enjoyed it because it took scientific concepts, lab experiments, and discoveries and related it to real-world situations. I find that it was relatable to everyone and not just people with scientific backgrounds. Well, when we return, we'll have a caller all the way from Edmonton, Alberta. Welcome back to Psychology Hour with our guest, Dr. Baumeister. Dr. Baumeister, your book has been very popular among our viewers on Facebook. In fact, we have one caller from all the way from Edmonton, Alberta. Hello, caller.
Hi, Nasab.
How are you?
I'm
What
good.
is your name?
I'm Shelly.
We want to know how you felt and what you thought about the book.
Well, I loved it in its entirety. Like you said earlier, it was an entertaining read for a regular audience like me. I especially thought that the radish experiment was a really fascinating study.
Indeed it was. Dr. B, can I call you Dr. B?
Sure.
How was this experiment executed?
What we did is we invited subjects to come into the lab and we asked them to fast before coming in. And when they came in, they smelled fresh baked chocolate chip cookies. One group we invited to eat as many chocolate chip cookies as they wanted, and the other group was told to not eat any chocolate chip cookies and to just eat radishes. But the chocolate chip cookies were still in the room with them. So after this was done, we took them into a different room and we asked them to work on a geometry puzzle. The puzzle was actually no solution to it, we couldn't solve it. But the group that had been able to eat as many chocolate chip cookies as they wanted actually worked on the puzzle for longer than the group that could just eat the radishes.
Yeah, I would have thought that success in the first task meant that those individuals knew how to control their impulses and had this reign over their willpower, but it appeared that Freud may have actually been right about our psychic energy being this finite and depletable entity.
Yeah, exactly. It really shows that we don't have infinite willpower. Because, the group that had resisted temptation from eating the chocolate chip cookies, could just eat the radishes, they used up a lot of their willpower, and that's why they weren't able to keep working on the puzzle for as long as the other group.
So, Shelly, if you had to give this book a rating out of 5?
Oh, it'd definitely be, well, a 4.5. This was an excellent book. I just thought it would have been perfect if there was some kind of conclusive advice based on all these fascinating findings that gave some solid steps into improving self-control.
Absolutely. I think you took the words right out of my mouth. Well, thank you, Shelly, for calling in, and thank you, Dr. B, for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Next time on Psychology Hour, our special guest is Lady Gaga.